News we have been waiting for years has finally dropped for QNT, and despite the project's actual performance, I have never felt more confident, and I personally hold more QNT than ever. So today, let's go into the recent partnerships, announcements, and everything involved. So if you own the project or just enjoy watching the videos, be sure to leave a like down below. And with that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so a quick reminder for every video that we make on the channel, this is not financial advice and for entertainment purposes only. Nothing in crypto is guaranteed and you could lose all of your money. Stay safe and do your own research. Now, the first thing I did when I purchased QNT, I put it onto a cold storage wallet. And I want to store my cryptocurrency where fellow utility holders are storing theirs, like XRP or XLM. And the first option is the Decent hardware cold wallet. Three simple reasons why I always choose Decent. The wallet is very affordable, right? Compared to alternatives out there in the market. This is pounds versus USD. There's free shipping to the States, UK, EU, and Japan. And just compared to your portfolio value, it makes sense. You're protecting it essentially for ever. The second reason is the actual cryptos available on the wallet. Right, all cryptos that are sort of needed, the relevant ones, are available on Decent, and more importantly, the tokens within utility crypto ecosystems. Here we can see the XRC20 tokens built on top of XDC. And the final reason for choosing XDC is ease of use. Right? Quite similar to an old generation iPod. You've got a big screen, 4 buttons. You're not signing for a long code every single time. It's biometric authentication. So if you want Descent with this kind of links, go and check them down below. Now moving on to the first point of today's video, the news that really made me buy QNT over the past couple of weeks. So the UK's banking system just went digital. And I'm talking about Quant Network being chosen to build payments infrastructure for the UK's new tokenized sterling deposits. This is the backbone of how digital money is going to move in the UK. Now, it's led by UK Finance and all the major UK banks. We're talking Barclays, HSBC, Lloyds Bank, NatWest, Nationwide. And when it comes to tokenized deposits, there has been a push. Right here we see UK banks press on with tokenized deposits after the Bank of England stablecoin warning. Right, currently they are siloed off, they cannot talk to each other. Here we can see the City CEO state in July the tokenized deposits were probably more important than stablecoins. Right, tokenized deposits had not reached their full potential because they cannot interact between financial institutions, but this new pilot actually solves that. So this pilot is designed to solve the interoperability issue so deposits can move between banks and across borders, which is exactly what Quant's technology, Fusion, the Overledger, is designed to do. We can also see here that Janet McIntosh, the Managing Director for Payments Innovation at UK Finance, stated tokenization allowed banks to innovate while keeping payments inside the regulated banking system. So they're essentially saying they're not building on unregulated public blockchains, they're using trusted private infrastructure, and that's where Quant's Fusion can come into play as a connector between those systems. So when we compare the UK tokenized deposit pilot with Project Roslyn by the collaboration with the Bank for International Settlements, the Bank of England, Digital Pound, or the Digital Euro Initiative, they are in the same league and they're both aiming for the same outcome, right? Programmable, instant, interoperable, digital money, just issued by different types of institutions. So this is even more tangible, right? You think about CBDCs, they're driven more by policy and regulation. You have tokenized deposits, which are more driven by banks and market demand, right? We can see a much faster rollout. And when you have the likes of HSBC and Barclays behind, commercial infrastructure could come out years before a digital pound. And a lot of people will not view this pilot on the same level as these other initiatives in the past couple of years. But people forget UK Finance represents over 300 plus financial institutions. This is the industry standardization phase for digital money in the UK, and Quant is being embedded as a default layer for interoperability between banks itself. It truly is the future. So when I view QNT a project stuck in an accumulation range, I don't really care. It's why I hold more QNT now than ever. Do I believe the price is going to go to 1K per QNT next week? No. Am I zoomed into the 1 minute chart hoping the price will increase every single day? No. I'm talking about dollar cost averaging into an asset every week, every month, and having a long term plan, because this crypto is a solid utility crypto in a market that is saturated with trash. Right? There's more cryptocurrencies created in a single day than the whole cryptocurrencies in circulation back in 2022. Now moving on to the second point of the video, the network nobody is talking about just yet. And I'm talking about QuantNet. Now this confuses quite a lot of people when it comes to Fusion, Flow, the Overledger. This itself is expanding on the Overledger's capabilities. So it's creating a shared network that links multiple institutions to enable tokenized money, to move digital assets across the financial system seamlessly. And so it's interoperability, real world interoperability, and it's built on proven architecture. Right? It's not a coincidence. This was announced a couple of days after the UK's tokenized sterling deposits. So here is a natural progression of things. We have the UK's regulated liability network, a prototype proving interoperability for tokenized money. Then we have tokenized deposits running on that framework. Then QuantNet is the commercial layer, so opening the infrastructure to banks and enterprises globally. So when the CEO of Quant Network, Gilbert Verdian, states, "Today marks a defining moment in financial history," we know it's not a proof of concept, it's ready, it's tested, and scalable. But if we go to the actual website for QuantNet, we can see built on proven architecture. They've already built the rails that the UK financial system is now scaling. So when we think about other solutions in Australia, where they are testing tokenized deposits in Singapore, they are piloting tokenized assets, we can think of QuantNet as a plug and play solution to help these markets scale. Now, on to the third point, the digital euro is closer than you think. So here we can see the ECB concludes a framework agreement with G&D and its partners Nexi to deliver offline solution for the digital euro. So the European Central Bank signing a framework agreement for an offline solution shows we're moving a lot quicker from theory to implementation than expected. Now focusing on Nexi, they acquired SIA, and SIA successfully integrated the Quant Network's Overledger to enable DLT interoperability across Europe. Now, currently, the European Central Bank is highlighting Nexi's strength in linking new systems to existing payment rails, literally what the Overledger was built for. Because when they acquired SIA, that technology was inherited. And you cannot tell me it's a coincidence that Quant Network are chosen as a pioneer partner in the Digital Euro project. And this is why on the channel we focus on fundamentals and actual information in the market. Right? Not too long ago, the European Central Bank chief, Chris Dean, says that crypto is worth nothing. And there was numerous comments about it being over for Bitcoin itself. While a couple years later, they are using crypto-based solutions. This is why we focus on the facts for this channel and why we buy based on that information. Now moving on to the technology that no one else has, Quant Network. Now, we are aware of Quant Fusion, right, the institutional layer 2.5 rollup network, but we have new documentation. So, Quant Fusion's multi ledger rollup MLR is the world's first layer 2.5 technology designed to unify assets and applications across multiple distributed ledgers. So further down, we can see connected networks, including public and permissioned systems, right? Smart contract deployment, opening Fusion to developers, and the BSU testnet, right? Positioning Quant as that neutral interoperability hub. So when you think about a layer 2, you are scaling within a single network. When it comes to a layer 2.5, you are scaling across multiple networks, public and private, all at once. Combined with the fact that there's no asset duplication, no bridges, and institutional DeFi is enabled. This is why the tech is unlike anything else. Moving on to the conclusion of the video, why we are buying more QNT. When it comes to cryptocurrency in general and Bitcoin, we can see the majority of gains are made in a very short period of time. But if you miss 10 days of a year, you would miss 80% of the gains that Bitcoin made. And it's the exact same with equities and the majority of cryptocurrencies in the market. The majority of gains happen in a small amount of trading days. They're explosive and they are short, and they typically happen after long boarding periods of consolidation and accumulation. I believe this is approaching quickly with QNT. Now, as I said before, I'm not in the game of predicting what's going to happen today, tomorrow, the day after. I'm treating this like the S&P 500. I have a robotic process where I dollar cost average every week, every month into cryptocurrencies that are in accumulation ranges. When news like this happens, it motivates me to buy more because I know there's a larger gap from the market perception of what that value of that cryptocurrency is to the actual value, the actual utility that is going on behind the scenes. That information is not readily available to the majority of people in cryptocurrency. I'm looking for that gap, and that's why I'm buying QNT. But that's going to be pretty much it for today's video. If you're interested to see when I buy QNT, my limit orders, my sell orders, more so my robotic process, the simplicity of dollar cost averaging, go and check out my private portfolio series in the membership section. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.